Hey,
Thanks, lady.
you know what's funny
What's
is
funny?
that my phone at work has an automated thing that tells me what kind of calls coming in.
Yep.
It's not that sexy.
Oh, that's sad.
No, it's
I
also
like
a mail.
my Google Home's a mail.
Oh, is it? Comes in all like professionals, like new call coming. I'm like,
Oh,
that's not sexy.
boo. Well, it's like funny. We've got like two. We've got one out in the kitchen that Mum got for Christmas one year, and I've got one in my room that I got for Christmas one year because you never actually buy a Google Home.
No,
You never get given them as Christmas presents.
no.
And the one out there is a woman's voice, and the one in here is a male's. The thing is, right, if my door is open and I'm laying in bed and Mum is talking to the one out there, sometimes my one hears it. And so I'll be laying in bed, like, bed. And then Mum will like say, "Hey Google, like, play Nova or whatever." And all of a sudden, my Google Home starts fucking blaring, and I just like that scares the shit out of me.
The mental image of that is absolutely sensational.
He just like throwing my blanket up because I think there's random man's in my house.
This is gonna be fun.
Let's do glass table.
Before we do, we have a sponsor this week.
Oh,
This is the first I'm telling you of this too.
yeah.
Powerade.
I was gonna say it was either gonna be Powerade, it was gonna be Absolute Vodka, or it was gonna be I don't even know. Like it's just some
The
form of
corporate
drinking.
the corporate box that I was in for the
Corporate
power
boxes
game.
at Adelaide Oval and Marvel Stadium.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh
dear.
yeah. We went fancy. Anyway, iron four electrolytes. Sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium. It's actually missing one. Glass table.
That's the play of the game. That is the play of the game. Time!
From the impossible angle, and he puts it through, and Portland.
Danger, 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 danger. Butler, 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 Butler.
Get around him! Get around him! Edge of the seat.
Hello, Jared. Welcome to episode 19.
Hello. This is an interesting one because I think the last two last two have been hungover? Or was it like the two before the last one?
Two before one was hungover. You were hungover last week,
Oh
and I was
yes.
just tired.
And now this week you're hungover and you can probably hear it in the mic. I'm just nasally as I've been like smashed again by the sickness. I reckon I've been sick on these episodes more than I've been healthy. So
I don't think you've ever been healthy.
no, I never am. Like I reckon I had a good week in the middle here where I was like, yeah, I feel real good about myself. And then like Wednesday I started getting like a sore throat and I was like, fuck.
You love when you wake up and it's just, oh,
Yeah, and
shit.
you're like, no.
It's
Again.
happening. It's happening. Oh,
Yeah.
well. At least you're here.
Yeah. And I'm like, I've got more energy than I used to do. I'm alive.
Can't say the same.
Nah, I wouldn't think so, considering the amount of conversation we've had today is minimal, and that is due to the fact that you have been asleep for probably 91% of the days. I
I
like
know, we texted like 5 times.
4:30 p.m. for Ant, which was 5 for me. I get a message being like, "Fucking what has happened?" It's like, dude, I've been at work for like 5 hours.
I saw no sunlight at
Oh,
all.
very funny.
I don't know what it was. I got home at 10 a.m.
That's
I
disgusting.
slept for 2 hours. Hey, well, when you're celebrating 13 in a row,
Yeah.
you've got to go for 13 hours.
Oh, yeah.
And I tell you, never again.
Nah, that's put you out of business for a little while.
Yeah, 7 days.
Till next week. What?
We're back for number 14.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but round 17 obviously was, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I saw bugger all of this round. I don't think I'm going to be equipped to talk much about it. But how did you see
Well,
it?
good thing that I actually watched the most footy this round that I've watched in like probably like a month and a bit. I went to 3 games. I've been like on a I've been in like a slump. I've got to 32 games as of today, for the year. I had like a month period where I was only getting to one game around, whether it was a Saints game or whether it was like a game I was working. But I had the very lucky this week where I got three of them, and I actually watched a lot of footy. So I can I can help. If you've got nothing, I might have something.
I can help. Thank you. Thank you. What is your games thing at the moment? 32, 33.
32. Yeah, so I'm at 32. I was figuring this out the other day. So I've seen every team except for the GWS, which we figured out however long ago. And there is no chance that I see a Giants game until round 24.
That's hot.
Carlton versus GWS at Marvel.
Of course, it's
Either
Carlton.
I'm like, that's the thing, right? I know. So it's like, it fills me with hope that I'm actually going to get there because I just seem to get given all the Carlton games. So it fills me with hope that I'm going to get GWS. And even if I'm not working it, I'm going to do everything in my power, end up at Marvel Stadium so I can watch GWS one time this year and get all
And
the teams
complete
done.
it. Are you a chance to get to 50?
That was my thing as well. I think if I go to finals, I'll get to 50. If I don't go to any finals, I'll go to a final, but I think with 50 might get there with finals. I don't think I'll get there with just three of the season there.
There's 7 rounds left.
It's a race. It's a race.
You need 18.
18 games in 7 rounds. It's well above my average. It's gonna be rough, but we'll see how we go.
Interesting. I like it. You know what else you should do that people like?
Yes.
Coaches Award.
Are we gonna fucking have a go or not?
I should. I was like plenty of games to choose from this week of teams, but like no one like really stood out massively to me. I could have gone Jimmy Webster again. I'll get more into that I'll get more into that when the Saints D's game comes around. But I couldn't really get there, so I'm gonna go back to Thursday night for the Tigers. And this isn't so much a coach's award because I think Tigers fans know how good he is, and just it's more fans outside of Tigers that don't really like appreciate him as much. But Jack Ross, I thought was really good on Thursday night. He kicked 2 and had 20. He's just one of those players that like it's the classic Richmond player where they don't like you don't know him, that they like and like you couldn't really pick him out of a lineup, but like they just get it done week in week out. And Jack Ross was one of them, and he did very well to give him a win over the Swans. Good game too.
Jack Ross.
Jack Ross.
Not to be messed with Seb Ross.
No, he got injured in the first 5 minutes and it's him first.
Interesting. That's good. Speaking of Richmond, we may as well talk about them because it is round 17 and we've got to talk about the round.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, they won by 13 points in a classic wet MCG game. It was actually pretty good. It was finally a primetime game that Port Adelaide weren't a part of. That was actually good.
I know, like there was actual like stakes and like the skills weren't amazing. You can bring it down a bit because of the rain and whatever. But like two teams that are fighting for spots. It was a really weird because it was like 15th versus 13th. Like it was so weird to look at. But it was like two teams that like if you win, you're a chance at finals kind of deal. Very good football game. Just good to watch, to be honest. And then it got real close towards the end. Got really close towards the end, and Richmond did that thing where with like 3 minutes to go, the game's really close, and then they kick the last like 3 and just like power through. Like it's just like it's fine. And then they just like they did it to us as well, where they kicked like the last 2 goals in the last minute and made it look a lot more than it was.
Yeah.
Good game for there. Very good.
Yeah, and I like there's almost quite a fairy tale about the fact that Dusty puts the exclamation mark on that game right at the end. It's almost like saying Richmond to Richmond fans and to the AFL, we're still in this. Losing to Brisbane by 80 odd points the week before is an anomaly.
Yeah.
And we're still in it. We're still in the race, which I don't mind because I still like Richmond.
As much as like I hate it, Richmond in finals is so fun. Like they're such a fun team to support and to like watch play finals. Because like the thing is, if Richmond make finals, like they might not go all the way, but they'll claim a scalp. Like if they finish in like 8th or 7th or whatever and win the first one, like they could probably knock off 5th or 6th almost immediately. Like I'd almost tip them straight away because they just have that like that finals energy. They're insane. And I love seeing Dustin Martin play good football because people tried to write him off and try to say it wasn't as good as he used to be and all that, but he still puts games out there like it's 29 and a goal. Like you can't complain at all, can you? Really? Great
No.
from Dusty. Very good.
No, I love him. I think he's great. I was
I
going
think
to
he's
say
great.
something about him, but yeah, I don't know much.
No, he's just great. He has all the accolades that he needs to. He doesn't have to keep playing. Like he can be done. If he wants to retire, he can just retire. He doesn't need to do anything else. But yeah, it's very good.
You know what's funny is his little contract with Bonds ended pretty quickly.
Yeah, right. As soon as Richmond
Short-lived.
went winning, he was like, "Ah, I'm good."
Yeah. Ironic. Anyway, just thought I'd bring that up. By the way, finally it's one with this
Yeah.
12 goals, 16. And
Well,
I
16
thought
they
if
did it.
Richmond, if they lost, they had a point. They had a reason. But no, they won with that. So it's good to see. I think conditions, you sort of let them slide a bit. But Sydney, on the other hand, I think they've lost that edge to win a game of football.
Yeah, I think you can pretty much write them off from making finals.
No.
Pretty much. I know you're not going to say. I know. But I think not even just in terms of the points, because obviously in points they're only 2 games out, which is fucked still.
Yeah.
But
that's my point.
I know, but I just think in terms of the actual way they play their football, I don't think they are a finals team.
No.
And I just think they'll kind of just lose a bit. Their percentage is very good though. They have a ridiculous percentage for a team sitting 15th. They're at 110.
Is that the highest 15th place percentage you've seen?
Yeah, 100%. And it's just because they absolutely fucking demoralize the Eagles the other way.
They're just living off of that.
Genuinely ridiculous.
Hot. Anything else from that one?
Nah, that's it. That's it from me.
It was a good Thursday night. Rolled into Friday night. Again, another good Friday night game. And again,
Yes.
Collingwood win.
Yeah, this is one where it was for the first half, it was hang on.
Yeah.
it was built to be a really good game. Everyone sort of knew it was going to be really close. And it was living up to that for the first half, and then Collingwood they just do what Collingwood do. And they kicked 6 goals in the third quarter, and just said, we'll be done.
It's funny because you thought if you have your 3 key goal kickers like the Dogs did, they had Waitman, they had Norton, and they had Ugelhagen kicking goals.
That's all they needed. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Nope.
No.
Not when Nick Dacos is Nick Dacos. That man.
You know what? He's so good, and I hate it.
I know.
I hate it.
He's won the Brownlow. You can't even no one's catching him. He's a freak.
Oh.
Can you imagine?
It's like some underdog wins it.
Yeah, like Zach Merritt or something like that. Oh, wait, he's fucking suspended. Say Zach Merritt wins it, but he's suspended, so it gets given a day course.
Oh, that would piss off Collingwood fans so much, and I would love it.
It would just, oh, mate, imagine the Essendon fan meltdown. Because the Merritt one was, contentious as well. Oh, man. Oh, now I kind of want to see
it. Zach Merritt with Joe Watson. 2 together.
Oh, rough.
Yeah. Oh. Beggars can't be choosers.
Nope.
Back to this one. Ash Johnson, I just wanted to mention. From the week before getting your pants pulled down in the VFL, they're coming out and kicking 3. That's full credit to the man.
Honestly, I can't believe he played for one in this game. After getting the pants actually pulled down. I feel like that's a genuine, you're not going to touch the footy field for a while. But the fact that he came in and then also kicked 3, fair effort, Ash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Unlike Mason Cox, who you and I despise.
0-3, Mason. 0-3.
We won't mention why, but you know.
I think you know if I'm mentioning 0-3 and why we don't like the job.
Stupid American. Get back. He has his own podcast.
Yeah.
Mason Cox Show.
And he's not even the only guy on there. He's got another guy with him.
Yeah, it's just kind of egotistical, isn't it?
That poor other guy. I don't know the other guy's name. That's how bad it is. I don't know
So the Dogs obviously lose, but I think their credentials for finals is untouched. I still think they're going to probably comfortably make it in the end.
Yeah, they don't lose. Like they lost the game, obviously, but they don't lose any fans. I don't think they did enough. They came up against one of the two best sides in the comp right now and held their own for like the first two quarters, and then sort of tried to fight their way back in the last, but it was too late, obviously. But yeah, they're great. I think of the four teams in that bottom half of the eight that are like constantly moving around and stuff like that. Essendon is one that I think is in good form and is doing well, and then the other one's the Dogs. I think Saints and Cats are a bit who knows, but the Dogs and the Bombers are the ones where it's like you can almost be like they are ready to play finals.
I think we'll touch on the ladder at the end, but that top eight's pretty. If it ended like that, we'd have a pretty damn good final series.
Oh yeah, we play the Dogs again, and we love playing the Dogs in the finals. We fucking love it. It's our favorite thing ever is playing the Dogs in finals.
That's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Jamie Elliott, All Australian.
Missed too many games, I think.
Someone posed that question on Twitter, and I just looked at it and went, "Why?"
He missed all. How many games did he miss this year? He's missed heaps, right? Surely.
Well, I think he's missed quite a few, but
Well, he's played
he's been
14.
good. He's been
He's played
very
14
good.
out of the 16. Yeah, he's been good. I think he's a little bit inconsistent sometimes, but he's inconsistent in that he'll kind of kick one, but it's whether or not he goes up above that and kicks like your 4 or your 5 kind of thing. Like I think he just has too many games in a row where he doesn't do enough. And then, yeah. So with my checkout though, he could do even more. And then he could push for that sort of fifth forward kind of spot. But yeah, interesting.
I thought it was an interesting question. One that I didn't really think about, but
No.
football's all about questions.
Right.
So that's 2 primetime Thursday night, Friday nights, both in Melbourne. Because considering the last few weeks we've been complaining that they weren't in Melbourne, both of them were.
Exactly. And I got to go to the Thursday one, and then I was going to go to the Friday one, and then I got sick, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to get I'm not going to the Friday one.
Poor thing.
Oh, well.
It's all right. We all get sick, mate.
If I miss my 50 games by one, I will be fucking furious. I will be so upset, but it's fine.
It'd kind of like when you're left stranded on 49 not out in cricket.
Yeah. Oh man, I'd be so upset. I would like actively be like, I would fly to a different state to try and get one more game.
I'm sure Port Adelaide will have a home.
I was going to say they'll have a home prelim, hopefully.
Home prelim. I know you know where to be.
I'll get there.
Postcode's 5,000. Start looking at flights, champion. Saturday Arvo. The Lions and the Eagles.
Yeah, I got nothing for this game. I was driving for the first half of it, and I pretty much chose to not really watch the second half because it was not very good.
Jack Gunson came in. They won by 81 points, by the way. Jack Gunson come in, has kicked 6 and has 20 touches.
That's everything interesting that happened. So yeah.
Yeah, I played football and got a best on ground performance. So that's what my takeout was from Saturday afternoon.
That's the Saturday afternoon game that we're after. In the muddy conditions down there in Adelaide.
St. Paul's was terrible. It generally, I'm running through that mud pit. I'd lost a shoe.
Felt like a pig.
I was looking for my truffles. Digging around for my best on ground touches, just a couple of intercept marks.
Oh yes, lovely.
In the wet.
I mean, that would have been easy to mark when your hands are just muddy as they just stick in there. You just fucking.
No, actually, it wasn't. It was just pure skill and talent. It takes a really good player to play in the wet, JT.
You're like baiting me to say tickets. Like you're leaving the bait out there.
I just want you to see.
I'm not gonna bite. I'm not gonna bite.
You want to bite?
I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We lost, but we could have lost by more.
That's part out of it. It's fine. Don't have to worry about the result. All good.
GWS bet the Hawks by 13 at Giant Stadium. Did you see this one? Do you have anything to say about it?
I watched like a bit of the last quarter. You know who's really fucking good? I think I mentioned him like the other week. Kieran Briggs. What the fuck? He's come
Yeah,
out of nowhere to be like
yeah.
really, really, really good. Also, Stephen Canelio. Now, no one's talking about it because he's out of like that Victorian kind of bubble thing. But remember like remember 2020 and stuff when Canelio was like getting really like hammered for how bad he was playing? This man has been fucking elite this year.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
so good. He's averaging nearly 30 touches a game, 7.6 score involvements, 434 meters gained, 6 clearances. This man is fucking incredible. And he's not getting any respect at all.
I know, because it gets taken over from your Josh Kellys, your Toby Greens, the likes that come out of their midfield, and ever since that moment on even on the documentary where
Yeah, that
he's
show. Yeah,
dropped,
literally, yeah.
he sort of lost. I'm not going to say fame, but it's almost that recognition.
He lost like the admiration and like the respect of sort of like he's one of the best players, and he kind of just got forgotten about. It's kind of like Lockie Whitfield last year, except Whitfield hasn't had the bounce back season that Canelio has been having. But like Canelio is playing fucking fantastic football. So
And he's hitting the scoreboard, and that's
yeah,
one
like
thing.
heaps too. Like
Like if you hit the
really
scoreboard as a midfielder, you become even more damaging. That you can get your 15 and 15 kicks and handballs and dart around and contested possessions, but if you're hitting the scoreboard, my God, you are a
and
midfielder.
he's one of those rare mids where when you rest them forward, they're probably just as good as they are in the midfield. Kind of thing. Like you can put Canelio like in a forward pocket or like a half forward and like rest him from the midfield, and it's like track. Like Canelio and track are similar in that you can play them forward, and they will be just as damaging with goals as they will be in the middle getting clearances and stuff like that. So Canelio is very, very good at football, and I wish he was in my team, to be honest.
Cannoli.
Canali.
I'll call it. They got my man Cannoli.
There we go.
The Hawks, just to quickly touch on them, pretty respectable performance. I actually thought GWS would pump them, but this was a close game.
They're really not that bad, Hawthorn. It's
Yeah.
like it's very much like a bottom 2 in North. Well, it's actually okay. It's bottom 1, obviously, and then it's North. It's like a bottom 1 and then North, and then Hawthorn. I don't think are as far away from the rest of the pack as people want to admit. Kind of thing. Like they're fine. Like they're not that bad. They have their bad losses for sure. Like that Port Adelaide one was awful, and like whatever. But like they can play good football, and they have shown that they've beaten teams. They beat us. They beat Brisbane. Like they can beat teams that are good. So
Very likable.
yeah, they are. They got some young players. I love John Newcomb. Like I love Mitch Lewis.
Yeah,
Good.
stupid sexy Mix Lewis.
She was texting Mitch Lewis. Yeah, no, good team.
We moved to Saturday night. Now, I like to paint this picture because it's very funny that when both our teams play at the same time, it's either one's having a meltdown, one's winning, both are having a meltdown, or both are winning. And in this case, one was having a meltdown and one was blind drunk.
See, like I had a little bit of a meltdown, but not a real meltdown. It was like a half meltdown.
It was like, it was kind of like, oh, we suck, but that's okay. We gave it a crack.
That one was okay.
Yeah. I don't mind that, actually.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And we were both pretty much, well, we were a bit corporate.
Oh, we were very corporate this week. Yeah, so yeah, like painting pictures. I was in the corporate box with my dad, and you were in the corporate box with some of the boys. And you were getting blind drunk, and I was driving my dad home, who was blind drunk. Hence why Ant is the hungover one this week, and I'm just the one that just didn't have a lot of sleep because I had to drive fucking 2 hours out of my way.
Yeah, that was painful. I've got
Rough.
I don't remember much about the Saturday night games. We'll start the D's and the Saints because I feel like you'll be able to explain it a lot more than I can. 21
What's this one,
points
did you?
No.
Yeah.
No, I kept checking it because I wanted to see what was happening with you, but that's about it.
Yeah. No, fair enough. This is what I was saying. Like, I had a meltdown that we lost because losing is never good, obviously, as we know. And like it hurts our finals chances, and especially the fucking happenings in the game. But in terms of like performance, I had nothing to really fault at all because we went 3 men down halfway through the second quarter, meaning we had 2 on the bench for a whole half, and I was like, "Oh, fuck. We're in trouble." And I thought we were going to really take the foot off, and we were going to get thumped. Like I thought the second half they were going to come out and kill us, and we didn't let them like at all. We got to within a goal like late in the third quarter, and it was like, okay, like everything about this game, other than obviously the result, I left being like, that's fine. Like, that's okay. The injuries are going to hurt. King's gone for the rest of the year. We're fucked, basically. But like the actual game itself, fine.
What quarter did King get subbed out in?
6 minutes into the first quarter,
Okay.
he injured his shoulder in the first contest of the game.
Oh, the poor
Like,
bastard.
ball got kicked into the 50. I think he like went to lay a tackle or something like that. Shoulder popped out.
Yeah, I can see that here on the bench. They had obviously the Saints had 52 rotations for the game. The D's had 69.
Yeah.
Max King 110 minutes on the bench.
Big stint on the pine for old Max.
I mean, there's one thing to get dragged, but must have done something pretty bad.
Fucking awful. Nah,
Seb Ross is on
like,
the same at 108 minutes.
yeah, I was gonna say Seb Ross was not long after, and then Cordy will be at about 82. It was
Yeah.
it was just awful. But like the players that were still out there and had working legs and arms, did very well.
The mechanics.
Literally, there wasn't any players that like I think were bad. Like Google Howard, who has been shit on all year by myself and all other Saints fans, had probably his best game this year, which is great. Rowan Marshall, holy shit, man.
Okay. This bloke.
Yeah.
He's my All-Australian ruckman.
Yeah, right. So
Yeah, he is my All-Australian ruckman, and he is just phenomenal. How does a ruckman have 30? Tell me that.
Gordon and Grundy combined had 29, and Rowan Marshall had 30. He also had he also had 10 marks and 7 tackles.
Yeah.
Like he didn't get the hit outs, and people immediately like saw the hit outs and like, yeah, but he's a ruckman. Like you got to get hit outs. It got fucking shown today. Sean Darcy today had 58 hit outs against Carlton because they didn't have a ruckman. 3 of them went to advantage, and they lost by fucking 60 points.
This comes back to that conversation we had last week.
Yeah, Rowan Marshall does not need to have that many hit outs to be impactful. That man was so good. I think he was the best player on the field. Like, even though we lost, I think he was the best player on the field. Stephen May was also very good. But like Rowan Marshall, you cannot fucking fault that game. That was one of the best games I've ever seen that man play. It was so good.
He is what the modern day ruckman needs to be.
Yes. He's mobile. He goes back with a flight. He takes contested marks. He pushes forward. He has shots at goal. He can kick long. That man is like, he is exactly what you need. He doesn't look like a Gumby, which we made last week. He doesn't look like an idiot running out there.
He doesn't have a disease.
No, he doesn't have the ruckman disease. He actually
doesn't
looks
have the ruckman
confident when he's out there.
And he's everyone's favourite ruckman for fantasy at the moment.
Yeah. Well, he's mine. He fucking just dropped 150 for me.
Yeah, literally. Same. I was like, oh, you're a nice little C. I like you. Doing the draft, and I took him at pick 3, and everyone was like, why would you take Rowan Marshall at pick 3? And I've gone, this will be
you wait.
You see. And I'm sitting top 2 at the moment.
Ooh, I haven't actually.
That's because I know how to draft.
Well done. But yeah, anyway, game good. Everyone was really good. Jack Steele was actually Jack Steele again.
Yeah.
He did the Jack Steele thing, like the actual good one, which is crazy.
Hey, you found him.
We found him again. He was wearing these pink and purple boots that I've never seen him wear before. I reckon it's his superpower. I reckon he should wear them every week. I think he needs to bring them back.
I mean, to play well, you do need some fancy boots. I mean, I've got some fancy boots at home, and
of course, yeah.
You know, they're a bit muddy, but that's when you have. Yeah, it happens when you really get your boots dirty.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Wanganeen, Malira, Sinclair, Steele, Marshall, even Crouch.
Usual,
good. The whole midfield.
Suspects. Yeah,
standard protocol for the Saints.
Yeah, I think the injuries are going to hurt us though. If we can bring that effort every week with a full bench, we'll be right. But I think the injuries that we got are going to hurt us because Ross will be out now. Oh, actually, that's another thing. Like Zach Jones came in for his first game, and was really good. So he can replace Ross, which is fine. So that works. The King one fucking hurts. It means Tim Embry probably has to play next week. And Zane Cordy got concussed, who was actually doing bits and then got concussed. So it's like who knows? We're fucked. That's
Hey, come on. You're playing better earlier in the year without Max.
yeah, we were. That's true. Maybe Mitch Owens will kick 7 goals again.
Yeah, look, I wouldn't put your hat on it, but
It'd be nice though, wouldn't it?
hope's a beautiful thing.
Oh yeah.
But I only mentioned the Max King sub because pretty much in the corresponding game, his brother was playing and also got subbed.
Yeah, except he got subbed because he was shit.
Oh, he got a bath. Boy, oh boy, did he get a bath. Lear got the soap and the scrub out and said, "Hey, mate, go have a shower."
Yeah. Now I obviously didn't watch any of this game, but I did see the Port did that thing where they just don't really do much for the first half and then kick fucking 9 goals in a quarter and completely ice the game.
We might as well go into it because
Yeah.
for people that are watching that are pair subscribers, this may as well be the review
This is
because
the review. This is the review right here.
Quite literally. People are asking me, "Oh, where's the review coming?" It's not.
While
You're
you do this review,
You're
I
lucky
need
I'm
to blow
doing
my
this.
nose. While you need to do this review, I'm going to blow my nose. So I'm going to mute myself and do it on camera.
Okay, no worries. Well, everyone can watch you blow your nose. I'm just going to review this one very quickly. Yeah, as he said, like the first half was pretty average from Port standards, but overall, I was kind of expecting it because Gold Coast were going to respond with, the criticism of Shui Ju and the poor performance last week against the Pies. So they came out and they played pretty well. I mean, we were pretty much always just going to end up having a bit of momentum and swinging the game. And the second quarter did that. Todd Marshall was back to his accurate best. And he was just absolutely probably our best forward on the night in terms of movement and giving an option. And then, as you said, like Ben King got subbed because it was shit. And that's because once Trent McKenzie went down, Aliir pretty much had to play all 6 positions in the back line.
And he did it fucking beautifully.
Look, he's not going to be all Australian, but I tell you now,
He'd be in the reserves team. He'd be in the Rezzies.
he's getting in the squad because Casbolt beat him 1-on-1, but we know he's not a great 1-on-1 player. And I'm happy to let Levi Casbolt kick 4 goals in a game when Gold Coast end up only kicking 10.
Yeah.
And he's dominating every other player. Like it was a joy to watch. Just he's so good, man. So good.
Yeah. This is actually interesting. This sounds like I'm like trying to flex that I'm a Triple M. On Triple M today, they were talking about Jeremy Finlayson, and there was a debate on whether or not Jeremy Finlayson is actually Port's like best forward. You take out Dixon, you take out Marshall, you take out Georgiades. Do you think Jeremy Finlayson is the best forward for Port or the most impactful forward for Port?
Well, if you're taking out Dixon, Marshall, and Georgie,
No, not taking him out. I'm saying like he takes them out, kind of thing. Like I'm saying like you like compare him with the likes of Dixon, Marshall, those types. Do you think he's the most impactful forward?
Think so. Only because he's so versatile. But all 3 forwards are very different.
Yeah, 100%.
Marshall's your lead up target. He's the traditional lead up on the lead. You hit him, set shot, simple, easy. He'll do that up the field as well, and he's really impactful and really skillful. Dixon's your more grunt, your pack player.
Power forward. You put it on his head and you let him just bully someone out of the way.
Quite literally, he eats any defender that comes.
He'll just eat somebody. Yeah.
Like he doesn't have dinner pre-game.
You know how like coaches are always like, don't just stand still and point, like actually make leads. With Charlie Dixon, they're like, nah, you can stand still and point.
What they're saying is to the defender, good fucking luck.
Good luck, mates.
Good luck. And if you don't get eaten, that's a win.
Good work.
And then Georgiades is probably
it's just too injured to tell.
Combination of what Finlayson and Marshall is, but he's injured. So
yeah,
I would say Finlayson is all of that. He's very good on his feet. He's got pace, and he's probably the feel-good story of the AFL this year.
100%. That's the thing as well. Like, I feel like ever since all the things came out about his family and about his wife, like, it's like he just plays with this, like, he plays with the regard of, like, I have a lot to play for. Like, every single week, it's like he's running out there with a lot to play for. And it's like, you can tell, like, he looks like he's having fun too. Like, seeing him smile and, like, celebrate goals and stuff, it's like, fuck yeah. Like, that is so nice. So,
It's
yeah.
just what footy is. Like you go out there, you play for 2 hours, you play with your mates, you smile, you enjoy it, you kick goals. He played 100 games, his milestone on the weekend with Charlie, who played 200 games, and it was probably the feel good story of the weekend for the fact these two played together and were able to combine. I think they kicked 5 goals between them. No, Dixon only kicked 1. So, but if Finlayson could fix that set shot goal kicking, he'd be kicking 8 a week.
Yeah, it'd be so good. And that's the thing, like, Port are flying so much at the moment where you could pretty much put it in anyone's hands and they'll do really good with it. Like, all their starting 22 is just like, just elite everywhere around at the minute. So,
This happened in the space of the last 6 minutes of the third quarter. And you mentioned you put it in anyone's hands. They're kicking goals at the moment.
yeah.
How Pepper has picked the ball up 80 meters out.
That
and
was
sent
fucked. I
this
watched
thing
that today.
from the suburbs. What the? I
didn't see that until late today, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
He's just launched this thing. Like, he's just put it on the boot and it's gone. I'm going. It checked out. Adelaide Airport were like, this is not supposed to be in the air at the moment.
The missile.
It's been launched. And then, like, 5 minutes later, Connor Rosie's kicked goal of the year.
Don't know if it's goal of the year, but it's close. It was very
Goal
good.
of the year, bro. It's goal of the year.
Still got Ashcroft's, but it's good though. It was very
Stuff
good.
him. I can't believe the 3 they're going to have to pick for goal of the year this year is, okay, Ashcroft is there. Houston's goal of the year for winning the game. And then Connor Rosie from basically the lineup at the canteen.
It was a very good goal. The way it skidded on was fucking hot. I really liked it.
That tight of an angle.
It stayed so low. Usually with dribble kicks, you get one big bounce. This one just fucking like skidded, like it was like you threw it across a lake. Like it was just like,
yeah, he's rocked it.
I was like, holy shit.
And he was going at full pelt.
Yeah, that's fucked. That's hard to do. That is rough. But yeah, caught 13 in a row.
I tried to come up with like a poster for them.
Yeah.
And then I was like, 13 reasons why comes to mind. Someone's like, yeah, that's not very good.
I wouldn't do that.
And I was like, I've never seen it. And they're like,
yeah.
don't do it. It was like,
I wouldn't.
oh.
I wouldn't. You might get in a little bit of trouble. Or you can. But I wouldn't.
I don't think I have the brain capacity at the moment to make that.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So I decided to run with the old Anthony Hudson.
Yeah, 13.
13. Sometimes you just got to go sit back and enjoy the show.
Yep, I like it.
And Port Adelaide is the show.
They are, truly.
My head hurts.
Sunday.
Okay. Yeah. Sunday. Oh.
Yeah.
Geelong versus North Melbourne.
I got nothing for this game, and I know you don't either.
What makes you say that?
The fact that you slept through the entire thing, probably.
I do want to mention one in particular person that I properly did enjoy. Cooper Harvey.
Yeah.
Kicking a goal. Like, I thoroughly enjoy father-son moments, and I saw the video this week of him taking him out and announcing he's going to be playing. That was obviously surreal, but then to come out at Construction Park Stadium and kick a goal in his first game.
I hate that place so much.
Terrible.
Yeah, no, cute story. And
cute story.
I mean, he had, like, I don't know how to explain it, in that he had the most, like, just normal debutante game you'll ever see. He had 10 touches and he kicked a goal. Just so run-of-the-mill debut game.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Hit your KPIs. Do what you have to
literally.
do.
Yeah, it was fine. It's so weird that, like, Boomer retired not very long ago. Boomer retired, like that's got to be one of the quickest turnarounds from father to son playing the AFL. Has to be.
Well, he did retire at 65.
Yeah, and he'd played 5 million games of AFL football.
I'm pretty sure he's still playing somewhere at the moment.
He just broke his leg, so he was.
Oh, that's why he's limping.
He broke. Yeah, that was why he was limping in the video because he was playing it somewhere.
I
Really
thought he
this
just
year.
had a lot of North
I thought he
Melbourne's
was just
problems on
old.
his body.
Well, he was just old. No, he broke
Thought
his
he
leg
just-
earlier this year.
That's what happens when you get to 65 and you retired 5 years ago.
Exactly. You start to break down a little bit. Yeah, game was fine. Stengle kick 5. That's all I got.
Zach Tui broke the record for the most games played by an Irishman.
And he unleaded a barrel again. Because he's fun like that.
Just, I hate that. Not
What?
the barrel, just the people like, oh, give the people what they want. Shut up. Like, no, he doesn't have to do it. Like,
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, he didn't need to in the context of the game, but it was funny. So
give the people what they want. And the funny thing is, you look at the camera shot behind the goals, give the people what they want. And they're showing the fucking stadium in the background. It's got no one in it.
no one there. There's no people.
Well, fucking get rid of the traffic cones. Get rid of the sign with the bloke that's digging.
Get rid of the traffic cones and then get rid of the actual traffic cones, not the ones that are on the field in the blue and white stripes.
I don't know why that made me so laugh.
Next game of football.
I didn't see this one either. Who
I
was it?
did.
Oh, it's Essendon Adelaide. You were there. Tell us
I was
about
there,
it.
this one.
Darren Thomas.
Good. Adelaide only losing by 18 looks very good for them. They were down by like 6 goals for like most of this game. First quarter and like first half, really, it was just it was a shootout. Like they just kept, everyone was just kicking fucking goals. Like it was just insane.
It's a real. Just looking at it because I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
It was a real marvel game. When
Yeah.
like you know how when certain games like if they kick off in a shootout, this was typically what it was.
It was a Marvel Sunday 320 game in that
Yeah.
it was high fucking scoring. It was an Essendon game because it was high,
Yeah.
like quick pace, high scoring. People just fucking kicking goals from everywhere. Mason Redmond kicked the first one inside the first minute with a 60-meter bomb, and then
Hot.
it was hot. It was so hot. And yeah, it was just a game. Like Adelaide only losing by 18. Essendon just kind of took their foot off in the last quarter, and then they kind of dragged it back. But Essendon look really good. And Adelaide, I said this like weeks ago, and people kind of went at me for it, but I'm right in that Adelaide aren't good at traveling. And like people like to be like, yeah, they're a young team, and there's no doubting that. Like they are a young team, but people tried to be like, they don't lose that many away from home. I'm like, they've lost a lot away from home. And then the media only hype them up when they play. But yeah, the media only hype them up when they play at Adelaide Oval, and they're like, they win a game. They win a game at Adelaide Oval, and they're like, oh my god, they're top 4. And I'm like, they need to fucking win a game away from Adelaide Oval at any point this year, please.
And the other thing as well is with that, oh, they're top 4, they're going to scare a few teams. Well, hang on a second. They're not in the 8 at the moment.
Yeah.
Stop playing at Adelaide Oval and stop playing teams that are worth less than bloody VFL teams.
If they finish in
West Coast.
Yeah, if they finish 7th or 8th and they play the likes of Essendon at the MCG or something like that, they're fucked. Because
they're not. Look, I'm going to say, I said they'd make top 6. I'm going to say it now. I don't think they play finals.
Yeah, I don't know now. Like,
I don't think they play finals.
I don't
Their
think
run
they're
that they have.
I don't think they're better than Geelong or the Dogs or Essendon. They might be better than us, but again, like we played them at Adelaide Oval and they killed us. But I feel like if we played them at Marvel, it wouldn't be like that. I don't know. It's just a fucking lot. It's just a weird team, man.
I'll give you the rundown of what they've got. All right.
Yeah.
Because we may as well get a bit insightful here at the glass table because at the moment
Yeah.
my brain's not doing anything. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 games to go. You tell me if they make finals from this run. They play GWS at home next week. They play the D's at the G. They play the Showdown. They play the Gold Coast at home. They play out the Gabba against Brisbane. They play the Swans at home, and then West Coast at Optus.
See, like I think they win all their
Supposedly-
home ones. I reckon they win all their home games.
So they're winning the Showdown.
Other than that one, that's the one that they don't win. and
They're
then
currently at.
they lose to Brisbane. They lose to Melbourne. Yeah, I
You
don't know.
need to have 13 wins to make it at the moment. They've only got is it 8? Yes,
Yeah,
that's maths. 8 times 4 is 32.
I don't know. I think
They need
if they were in the
13.
8, if they were in the 8 as of now, I would have said yes. Because they're not in the 8, it's tough.
I think we'll do this next week.
I think we will do this next week.
We'll
I
do the
like
run
this.
home.
We'll do the run home. We'll pick the top 8. I'll do a ladder
Because-
predictor before I start.
Yeah, we'll actually be organised.
Yeah.
I think Essendon make the finals comfortably now. They're a good side. There was one other thing I was looking at. Zach Merritt had 39, kicked 1, right? And the best part about it is the interview he had after the game, he said he was stepping away to let others come in. Brother, you're not stepping away if you have 39.
It's 39 a goal. That's pretty up there.
I think you're stepping in, not stepping out.
That's pretty fucking right in the face of everybody.
Yeah. I think
Very
you
good,
call
though.
that a good game, brother.
Like, he was very good. That's why I mentioned Zach Merritt before, in that, like, he's had a really good year. So it was like, it's one of those players where, like, he'll probably feature pretty high in Brownlow. But we won't win it. He can't win it. So, like,
So Jordan Dawson.
oh yeah, like, he was good today too.
He had 28. Zach Merritt
Nick
had
Martin.
in my personal favourite stats, 687 meters gained.
Hot. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you say Nick Martin?
Yeah, so good.
Hmm.
He's
Good
the
player, I think.
he's the All Australian wingman. He's one of them.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, they won't pick him as a wingman though.
No, he'll probably be on the bench or some shit. But like, he's there. I think he's definitely there.
Has
I
to
think it's
be.
him and Dacos. Him and Dacos. Butters, I think, just put in midfield. So
Yeah, I think you probably have Butters and Rosie. Rosie will be on the bench if you're picking those two.
yeah,
Everything else will be up for debate.
I think it should be Dacos and Martin. As much as I'd love for it to be Mason Wood, he'd be the starting wingman on the reserves team, but he wouldn't get there. I don't think he'll get there. Yeah,
Maybe we should pick the reserves team.
that'd be hot.
Do we have enough time for it? No.
Not today. that could be 2 weeks time after we do the after we do the
we
top 8
need
next
content
week.
ideas.
Top 8 next week, and we'll do the reserves All Australian team the week after.
Someone clip it.
Someone flip it to us and then send it to us
Just
to
remind us. Yeah. The last game of the round, Carlton versus Fremantle. I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch a second.
Carlton
Nice.
won by 53, and Carlton have announced they're back.
Okay, right. Now,
Oh,
Carlton
please unload on them.
have an unbelievable ability to give their fans the most hope ever and crush them at the last possible second. So what I think is going to happen is Carlton is going to win a whole bunch of games in the next 6 rounds. Like, they'll probably win a fair bit, but it'll put them like ninth come the last round, where I think they play the Giants, and then they'll lose. Heavens. Like, Carlton fans, like, I'm glad that, like, you're actually, like, they're giving you a chance at finals still after a really poor start to the year. Please, for the love of God, just don't get the hopes up, because I know what Carlton can do to people. And that
Look,
last
I
round,
honestly think it fails next week.
that last round against the Giants screams like a Toby Green match winner.
Remember
Oh,
how you said Toby Green will kick 9 this year?
that's the one.
That's the one
That's the one, baby.
at Marvel, and you get
Oh.
to tick off your GWS viewing, and you get to see Toby Green kick 9. That's a fairy tale story, actually.
Fuck, that'd be fucking stupendous. That'd be so
You rock
good.
up in your full Giants gear.
In the media box. Hello,
Yeah.
everybody.
Dressed as the mascot.
Oh, man.
Yeah, other than that, I didn't watch the game.
No, but looking at the stats, and you know it's bad for Freo, and I think this is a telltale sign for Freo when they're not playing good footy, is when their defenders are getting the most touches. It happened against us when Brennan Cox and Ryan got like 35 each. This week, Ryan got 35, Jordan Clark got 26, Hayden Young got 25. And Liam Henry, who plays sort of halfback, bit of wing, had 20. So, like, the players that are playing the back line and getting all your touches, not good.
Hey, Nick Newman did the same thing. He
Yeah,
had a Nick Newman game where he had 11 marks.
yeah, weird, man. So weird.
Very weird. I don't like Freo at all.
No, they piss me off so bad. I put so much faith into them at the start of the year. I was like, yeah, they can finish top 4, and then they just fucking spent half a year farting around. And
I know why they call them the Pebble Haze. You can't fucking see what they're doing.
who the fuck knows where they are?
I can't see them. It's just purpley.
Just shit.
That was round 17. I was going to say something, but now I've completely forgotten.
I don't know. Ladder. The
Yeah,
ladder.
let's do that. Why not?
The same as every week, though. It's the ladder's the same as every fucking week. Where
It
it's
is. Pies are
Hollywood
top.
Port good.
Port Adelaide are equal top, but less percentage.
Yeah. So second. That's what second means.
Equal top. They are equal top, Jared.
Okay.
You know how sometimes you're equal with someone, it doesn't give you you're below them, but it gives you like #1 and
This
hashtag
one
one.
does though. This one does. It's got a 1 and then a 2.
Well, the website's wrong. Don't listen to what the website has to say. Listen to what I have to say. I'll fix that. I'll fix
Okay.
that. All right.
You get into the
Anyway.
AFL after you fix that.
I will. I'm going to email them. Number 3 is Brisbane.
Yes.
Number 4 is Melbourne. Equal
And
5th is Essendon, St Kilda, and the Western Bulldogs.
Right.
And then the Cats are 8. See, the Cats in 8 with that draw, that 2 points is going to be the difference.
It's gonna like save them, isn't it? They're gonna like
Yep.
just have enough to get in. Yeah, I know.
Hey, if you did the finals though, right now, you'd have the Pies versus the D's, you'd have Port versus Brisbane, Essendon versus the Cats, and St Kilda versus the Dogs. And you were saying before how St Kilda love the Dogs in finals. We love the Brisbane Lions in finals.
You do love the Brisbane Lions in finals. See, like this,
Yeah.
man, that'd be a really good final series. And the thing is, right, Essendon would play Geelong and they would lose. They would so lose.
I know, and they'd make it the country game again.
And they would just so lose. And they wouldn't even lose like by a little bit. They would get like thumped because Essendon in finals get beaten bad like all the time. And I don't know why.
Would they play that at Marvel or at the G?
That'd be the G. Like if they played us or if they played the Dogs, it'd be a Marvel. But Essendon always play their finals at the G. We play our finals at the G sometimes. So it would be the G.
Okay. And then the Crows, the Giants, the Blues, and the Tigers are probably in the finals race. Everyone else below that, I'm cancelling.
Yeah, probably. Suns just don't do enough. Freo, as we know, suck. And Sydney are Sydney.
I think Gold Coast and Sydney are going to be the teams that will cause a bit of havoc into how the eight shapes.
Okay.
But yeah, Freo terrible.
Who knows, man? Sydney is one of those teams that they can win. They can just win a game out of nowhere. So interesting.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Love to see them to beat the Crows, the Adelaide Oval, and just ruin everything.
That would completely fuck the whole 8. That would fuck the entire shape of the top 8.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'd love it.
Hmm.
Sensational. What do we do next? Oh, we go around the glass table.
We do go around the glass table.
Yeah, we're going around the glass table. The table brought to you by Glass. This week, Jared, what did we ask?
We asked, what is your, because it kind of leads into our little segment thingy that we're going to be doing after this. We asked, what is your favorite goal after the siren to win a game of all time? Not like the best ones, just like your personal favorites. We got some good answers here. So any of the picks for you?
I'll tell you what I won't be picking. Lachlan Dans. You can read that one out. I like Ari's, Jordan McMahon. That is a real throwback.
Yeah, the Jordan
At the
McMahon. And that's the thing that the Jordan McMahon goal, because like have you like the whole butterfly effect about it? It meant that Richmond didn't finish bottom or whatever it was, which means they then got Melbourne finished bottom or something, and then they got done for tanking, and it meant that fucking Richmond got like dusty or some shit, and they just like it was the butterfly effect is insane for that goal, and
It's
very
really
good.
good.
Yeah.
Really good. I love that one. You got one?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, I can read Dan's because I know you don't want to read it. But
Bastard.
it's the Jordan Dawson one, obviously. This goal is so weird to watch every
Ah,
time. The way it swings back like ridiculously late, and it gets called in by for a shooter is insane. Um, like, yeah, it's a crazy goal. Yeah.
Yep.
What do you got?
nothing on that one, that's for sure. Karma shopping. Oh no, that's an ad. Never mind. Brando's set shot. He strikes beautifully. I loved when people were commenting the commentary of the goals.
Yeah,
This
we
one
had a
was
few of
obviously
those.
Jack Newnes, which is just always bizarre to me. This was a COVID goal.
Yeah, and I like this is one of those goals where I remember exactly where I was when it happened. I was watching on my phone I was like about to I was in the bathroom or something like that, and I need to watch the last minute of this game, and I was on my phone in a bathroom watching Jack Newnes get this goal. Like ridiculous.
I was at the pub.
Yeah. Just weird.
Yeah. What, being at the pub or the goal?
The goal. Unbelievable goal.
Yeah. You got one?
Jacko's is very good. Mark, Rowan, and then unbelievable. I remember like this is like leading up to this. I remember when they were running down the field, Sydney, and I was like, "Fuck, they're gonna win this game." And they just kick it. Rowan throws him out the way and just takes that chest mark, like straight in front. Buddy is fucking celebrating like nobody's business.
I know. Like, it's quite funny because that game popped up on my TikTok, and I was just scrolling through. The last 2 minutes showed up, and I watched it, and I was just sitting there going, "How was this bottled?
Yeah,
Like, Essendon bottled that, but the
Essendon
market
Sydney games
itself was
always do
just
that.
unreal."
Yeah, Essendon Sydney games always do that. Like the way they just always end in some form of controversy or like some ridiculous finish is always fucked. So that was just one of them, one of the better ones.
A couple of port ones here. Robbie
Yep.
Gray, which I still remember the day Robbie Gray kicked that goal, and it was obviously against Carlton. And I remember Todd Marshall getting the hands from Robbie Gray and missing 2 meters out directly in front. We couldn't get
Yep.
the goal to save our life in the last 5 minutes. Robbie Gray missed an easy
Pulled
one
that out of
before
his
that as
ass.
well.
Yeah.
And then I remember Dad just storming out of the room, like everything got bashed. Like
Yeah.
the outdoor setting, I could hear him screaming, and I'm just sitting there going, probably gonna cry. And then Robbie Gray takes the mark and kicks the goal from the tightest of angles at the Gabba. And it's just surreal because it's like there's 4 people there watching this game. But it just if that had 50,000 people behind it, absolutely insane. But at the same time, it makes it more special the fact that this was 2 non-Queensland teams playing at the Gabba in a year where people shouldn't be watching games of footy and having the happiness of Robbie Gray kick that goal.
And like it's another one of those goals where I know exactly where I was when it happened. It was like during the day on like one of the weekends, I was at my mum's kindergarten cleaning because like I was helping her clean for some reason. And I remember like I was mopping the floor or something like that, and I was listening to it. And I like the commentators were like, "There's like 2 minutes left," and I was like, "I've got to fucking go and watch this." So I went and sat in the office and watched the last of it on my phone again. And I was just like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like, ridiculous.
Just because I don't think Port's had a like before Houston as well.
Yeah.
We only had 1 after the siren goal. No, 2 after the siren goals. Both of them were early 2000s. I think it was Jared
Yeah.
Polton and Peter Burgoyne. I hadn't had 1 since. So to have that in the modern day is fucking surreal.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Like we haven't. Yeah.
like they went through the AFL put up a video of all the latest ones for each club. And like ours was obviously Houston, so that's the latest one. And went through, and then you watch them back, and it's just like they're unreal. There was a lot in COVID times, like 2020,
Yeah, there was
2021,
3 in 2020 and 3 in 2021.
which is
Crazy.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
But then they get through, and they start to get a bit older,
Yeah.
They got to Essendon.
Well,
And that's all.
ours is from 2001. And it was Barry Hall.
Barry Hall, yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah, this is a very long time ago. So
That was really good though. Like, that saved you from the spoon.
yeah, I think so. It was something like that. And
And
we had
then
like
it
Greg Thomas coaching.
sent Hawthorn to play in Adelaide, I think, for a final or something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
Yeah, but they went through the video. They went through to each one. I think the Western Bulldogs one was like 1970, and they showed a picture of who did it because there's no footage. And then they got to Essendon's, and I told you this before. They showed up. It was like 1913 versus University, and the screen's just black.
Just nothing.
If you wanted to define Essendon after the siren goals, how many times it's happened to them, but they haven't had one?
Awful. You would hate to be an
Black
Essendon
screen.
fan. Like, terrible. Although, like, giving Essendon one then back, they were on the end of the Nick Graham one in 2009, where it was round 20, we'd won 19 in a row, and
Yeah,
Greenwood had
that's
to kick a
true.
goal to win it, and he kicked a point, and they won it. So they won a game after the siren, but it was because we missed. So, like,
Yeah. So they relied on other people.
yeah, literally. So that's a good one. And then one of Renee's I'm going to leave. So she obviously said Robbie Gray. I'm going to leave one of Renee's because I want to talk about it later. But then obviously
Yeah.
the Dan Houston one, as we know, we spoke about it last week. Ridiculous. So very good.
Yes, very good. Thank you very much for everyone contributing that, which it's a perfect way to go into. We've obviously been renaming AFL teams. We've seemed to have a segment where we just do random shit now. So
Yep.
now
One
we're
random
going to
segment.
list our top 5 after the siren goals. And
Yes.
I think this is not based on anything other than what they are as our favourites.
This is literally it. Mine's just the personal favourites that make my heart happy. Just ones that make my heart go, that's nice.
It's wholesome goals after the siren, we'll call it.
Yes, I like that.
Okay, so do you want to kick us off with your 5th place?
Yes. Well, actually, before I do my 5th place, I've got one honourable mention. And
Oh, yep.
just as a pre-warning, I'm not picking the Houston one in mine because I know it's going to be very high in yours. And we're just going to both be talking about the Houston goal. So I'm going to let you talk about the Houston one.
Okay.
And so I'm not going to put it in mine, but it would be very up there. But my honourable mention is Zach Bailey against Collingwood a couple of years ago. Not for like the actual goal itself, because it wasn't that hard of like difficulty wise, but it was the fact that the week before he tackled Blitzarves on the line and should have been called holding the ball. And he would have kicked the goal then to win them the game, but he didn't. So then literally the week after he got the mark and then got to kick the goal for him, it was like so like redeeming. It was like he fucking earned that shit so bad. It was like I did it. Like I actually got to do the thing that I was meant to do last week, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like my honorable mention. And very good. So I like that one a lot.
I like the old footy gods.
Yeah.
In the AFL.
It was the footy gods being like, you earned this one. Here you go.
Yeah.
Have it.
Go on, mate. Go on. Kick it. Go on.
Literally. But my actual number 5 is, we spoke about it before, Jack Nudes against Freo.
Low.
Yeah, low. Just because the ones ahead of it have like sort of more like, I don't know how to explain it. They just like have more place in my heart. But the Jack Nunes one is just unbelievably hard kick. Like the kick is ridiculously hard. All the lead up to it, like the free kick and stuff, and like the actual way kicks, the way they celebrate in like an like Optus where it's kind of empty, fucking weird. Like it's such a weird setting. But I really liked it. I think it's in my top 5 because of the like how difficult that kick is to do. Absolutely. So it's going to be 5 for me.
I like it. Speaking of honourable mentions, I will say Jordan Dawson, because I didn't want to put him in my 5.
Yeah,
and we know why.
Good kick that.
But the fact that was in a showdown and it's the old theatrical storyline of the showdown was really good. So I like that. My 5th place though is Robbie Gray. That 2020 goal. We spoke about the story. I won't go into it too much, but just the fact that it was Robbie Gray, the fact that it was that angle, and the fact that it was against Carlton, just made it pretty wholesome.
Yeah,
pretty damn
fair
wholesome.
enough. I like it.
It was the reborn of Robbie Gray, that one actually.
Oh, it's just like it was like his clutch. Like it's like he just proves that he's that clutch guy still. Like he's just fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
4th? 4th for me is one that you're gonna hate, but it's Jeremy McGovern, in the final. And
wait.
No, not McGovern. No, it's you know what I'm talking about.
Luke Shuey.
Yeah.
No.
So
I'm not dealing with
I
this.
know you're gonna hate the Shuey one. Like that makes sense.
Get
As to
stuff.
why? It makes sense as to why you would hate the Shuey one.
You
Because it
mentioned
was against.
McGovern as well.
Yeah, no, I know. I was gonna like because it was a thing, and then I was like, no, like it's the Shuey one. It's in
Right
there.
by.
It's in there because it's a final. It's extra time of a final. Like you couldn't get much bigger fucking situation than this fucking kick from Shuey. And like I just remember, like another thing, like all these ones I remember exactly where I was. Like I was at a party watching this one and I was just like losing my fucking mind. So Shuey is there as my fourth. Almost for the pure cinema of it, the fact that it was extra time and then it was also after the siren to in a final. Ridiculous.
Yep.
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 Yeah.
My number 4 is Jack Nunes.
Yep.
And I won't go into it because you already did, but yeah, that was a really good goal. And just it's just what pisses me off about that goal though is I hate when players celebrate with you right after a goal. Let you have your moment of celebration. Like
Yeah.
they do it in soccer and you would look at it the EPL and all that.
They chase them
Hey,
around.
players, they chase them over, they pull their shirt and shit. Like, let them have their 10 seconds.
I know.
Like I think it was Nunes was just sprinting and celebrating, and then Eddie Betts has just dragged him to the ground. We don't get to
The
see him.
perfect example of that is when Robbie Gray kicks that one against Carlton. He turns around to the 4 people in the crowd and he
Yeah,
talks like and lets him do his thing before they then mob him, kind of thing. But like, yeah, when they chase the shit out of him, it's like, God, like Jesus
like,
Christ.
let him have like a minute. Well, not a minute.
Yeah,
That's too long. But like his moment.
let him do his pose, and then
Yeah,
then
like that's my only gripe with it, and that's not even really a negative. That's just me being pecky.
yeah, that's fair.
Number 3.
My number 3 is Jamie Elliott against Essendon.
Oh yeah,
It's so good. Like
yeah.
everything leading up to this one, it was that fucking Collingwood can come back from anywhere kind of deal. The way that it just like they like showed like how it happened and how it was like a bomb down the wing. Elliott outmarks 2 of them on the boundary, and when he takes that mark, any other player or situation, they take a mark and you're like, why are you having a shot from there? It's Jamie Elliott, and you're like, that's going in. Like before it even kicked it, you were like, this is gonna go in, and it just fucking kicked like unbelievable set shot. And then it turns to the crowd. Fucking MCG erupts. There's 80,000 people there, 90,000 people there. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm the same. Jamie Elliott,
Yeah.
number 3.
Yeah.
I just remember watching that game and just sitting at home, the old hangover state, and you're there like, are you watching? I can't remember who kicked the point for the Essendon. I think it was Jones, if I'm right.
Yeah.
I think
Harry
it was
Jones.
Jones. Missed it. I'm like, there's 30 seconds. They're gonna have
They've
to
got
go
a
from.
couple of moves.
They've
Yeah.
got them, and like they did it, and they did it with precision. And then there's just 2 players for Essendon that try and spoil the ball. They miss it
And he's just
millimeters,
sitting in the back.
and he's just taking the
there.
chest
Yeah.
mark, the
Fucking
tightest of
ridiculous.
angles, and it's just
Poetic.
yeah,
So
it
it
is.
exemplified Collingwood last year. Like
Mm.
last second mad dash, like the last possible chance you could win a game, they did it, and it was just fucked. So yeah, Jamie Elliott, very good for both our
Well
3, I
done,
think.
Jamie. Number 2.
My number 2 is the Miracle on Grass, Tash
Oh,
McGrath.
yeah.
And this is almost for the lead up. Like this is almost entirely the game that leads up to this kind of thing. The fact that they came back from so far down and then like won it. And I reckon I've watched that last 25 seconds just on repeat. Like Yo gets it out, goes in the middle, Adcock takes a mark, but he's laying down, gives the handball off. McGrath takes it and immediately goes back like he's gonna have a shot. Like he has no idea how long's left, but he takes a mark and goes, I'm having a shot. Like from 52. Like he's like, I'm having this shot no matter what.
Yeah.
And then siren goes and he fucking bombs it. Like just bombs the shit out of
Yeah, that was fucked.
it.
Like that's how you describe it. Like that's
Yeah.
fucked.
The way that leads up to that. Stupid.
How they were 50 points down and ended up winning that game, I don't know.
Oh, and that was when Brisbane were like bad too. Like Brisbane were not good.
Like the Cats were going into their
Cats were still really good at the time, I think.
Yeah, they were still in that era where they had.
Yeah. Was it
They were just
2011? Or am I
2013.
2013? Oh yeah, well they were still around.
Mine is also at number 2, Ash McGrath.
Yeah.
And this was the same weekend, and I remember this because the story of that weekend by the whole AFL was Port Adelaide bet Sydney at Amy Stadium in the wet.
Yep.
And I know I bring Port Adelaide into everything, but like the story goes, that was the story of the weekend. And I remember listening to the radio and they were talking about the game and everything, and it came across that Ash McGrath just won the game for Brisbane after the sign off being 50 points down. That became the story of the weekend.
Immediately. Yeah, like immediately.
You never get that in a twilight Sunday game, let alone at the Gabba, let alone a team that's pretty much in poor state against the top 4 team.
Yeah.
For them to do that, come back from 50 points and do it like the passenger play at the end to do that within 10 seconds is mind blowing.
And it's the Hutto commentary as well, where he's like, gotta stand up, Adcock. And instead of standing up, he just goes, fuck, and he just handballs it.
Yeah.
He's like, shit, carry the ball. He's like, I gotta go. He knew that he wouldn't have enough time to get up and go back and kick it. So he's like, just fucking take it. He's like, just take the ball.
Get rid of it. And then just the poise of Ash McGrath to just walk through that.
Go back, walk up.
And it's this much in.
Yeah.
It's on its way. It's there.
Unbelievable. So good.
Number 1.
Oh, my number 1.
Oh no.
My number 1
Oh no.
is Carmichael Hunt. And like I could use this as like a joke, but it's just not. Think about how insane this is to explain to somebody, right? Gold Coast are in their first ever year of AFL football. They have been getting fucking pumped week in, week out. A rugby player takes a mark and wins the game after the siren. Like
In Cairns.
and the last 2 goals came in the last like 45 seconds of the match.
In Cairns.
In Cairns. The whole fucking situation surrounding this game was so funny. Like, and like I was like, young when it happened, but it's another one of those things. I know where I was. I was at my dad's house. I was just sitting there, just like glued to the screen, like this far away from it, just like it's happening right now. Like fucking ridiculous. I can't even explain how good that goal. Like, so funny, so funny.
I think I was at a mate's house.
Yeah, it's just
sitting there. It's
you're in shock.
fascinating.
I was just in shock for like an hour. Like that did not fucking happen. Like, come on.
I see why it feels so good, like talking about it, because it makes you think of footy.
Yeah,
it just makes you happy about footy.
literally, it's just that it's footy. Like it's just like how the fuck.
And
like
when you
that doesn't happen. Like it doesn't happen in other sports. Like a rugby player coming across and fucking kicking the winner. It's astonishing. So
we really
good.
need Mason Cox to kick a goal after the siren.
Fuck, that'd be good.
Just
We
the
would get
whole of
so much
America.
American press.
Yeah. No, actually, no, I don't like that, because now they'd be like, oh, Americans can dominate AFL.
Yeah, they would too, though.
Yeah.
As soon as the Americans like slightly started training it, they would fucking murder us within like 5 years.
Yeah. Aaron Sipos is the head coach.
Comes back and he's like, right, I'm gonna fucking torch you all.
I don't think my number 1's a surprise.
No, that's the one that I didn't want to put in because I knew you'd talk about it.
I didn't really want to put it 1 because I think the biasness sort of takes over, but
But it's understandable as to why.
just you talk about the situation is the fact that Essendon have kicked a goal with a minute to go, they've put them in front. And then it's in our forward half. Like you talk about like Parrish missed the goal down the other end, and we've just launched it down the middle. The key component of that contest in the middle is Ollie Wines punching the ball and directing it over the pack.
Yeah.
Run onto it, create a contest inside 50. And in the end, Houston's marked at 50 out on a 45. Well, it's a tighter angle than 45.
Yeah.
50 out in the wet we talk about the streak. We talk about how accurate you have to be with a heavy footy, with a 1,500 people on the goal line, and for it to be this much over, to kick it that far in the wet, and just it went straight through the middle. And the composure to walk back and say, "Nah, it's all good, boys. I've got this."
Oh yeah. Like
Houston doesn't have a problem.
the line was never in question. Like it was never like, oh, is it gonna like miss to the right or left? It was always gonna fucking make it. It was just like it was always gonna be in line. It was like how far is it gonna go kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, like you said, like the whole surrounding it's at the G, it's wet, it's for 12 in a row. You know, Bombs just kicked the goal. Fucking insane.
It's just, it just resonates with the fact that, and it's a bloke that's underrated.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have your big names kicking goals after the siren.
No.
You have this bloke that's just unbelievable.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like you've always got like players where you don't really expect it from them to kick the goal after the siren. Like I'm looking at like my list now, like Jack Noons, like Luke Shuey, I wouldn't exact because he's not really a forward. Michael Hunt, obviously. McGrath, Zach Bailey, like these players that like you wouldn't always expect it from them, but they always manage to just pop up and kick the winners. So yeah.
I will say another honourable mention. And I think our top fives are very good.
Yeah.
Noah Anderson's goal against Richmond.
That was just so feel good. That was so feel good last year, man.
Straight into football.
Yeah.
Just give me Anthony Hudson commentating every goal.
Good commentary. Honestly, any of them would be my favourite if you put anything in some fights.
Literally, I just think Anthony Hudson's voice when commentating is sexy.
Oh, that was really good. Holy shit. You actually, you got me there. Wow. Well done.
Yeah. Well, you cut me off last week, you prick. So this time I got you covered.
Well done.
So should we do it?
Let's do it. Stupid, sexy AFL players.
All right, time for stupid, sexy AFL players, Tom. We could talk about goals after the siren for days, but I think we should talk about what people want. And that's very good-looking footballers playing football.
Yep. You're right.
We're about to go rogue. Okay.
Oh,
have you got one this week?
I do have one this week. It was one that I was tossing up between the two last week. I went with Ben Hobbs last week, who had sparkly blue eyes. He was really good today as well, by the way, Ben Hobbs.
Did you get lost in his eyes?
I put him on one of the graphics that I made.
How long did that take you?
Just a few hours. So this week, I'm going with the other one that I was going to pick last week. We've actually had a discussion about this man before. And I posted a tweet about him because he looks like a certain actor that's in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 right now. And that is Tanner Bruhn. Now, Tanner Bruhn, in the hoops, in the Giants colours, I was like, whatever. But in the hoops, yeah, Tanner Bruhn does some things. He looks good in the hoops, I'll admit.
Something about the hoops.
Those fucking hoops, man. They just make him look real good. And he was real good last week. He kicked like how many goals last week? And I was like,
I don't know his stats, but it was good.
It was good.
Yeah, I like the look of Bruhn.
I was watching him. Say that.
You weren't watching the stats.
No. Who have you got?
Watching the hoops. Look, I've delayed it for so long. And I haven't had a port one for a while. Actually, I have. I had one last week, but I'm going to have one again.
It's like you got port
I haven't had one for a while. It's 7 days.
I'm playing the hits.
Bringing them back. I've tossed up with a few this week, actually.
Mm.
But this one, I think after watching multiple social media clips that the club posted this week, and then also just watching his performance on Saturday night, the way he kicked the goal of the year, and just his looks are just so rosy.
Yeah, understandable.
Like he's just Just don't look at me like that. You can open up your eyeballs all you want. I know what I said. And he fully deserves it. Connor Rosie.
Bro,
the number
he's
20.
yeah, understandable. He's a yep. Big time.
I'm just going to take a moment because I just really want to think about him.
Okay, while you do that, I'm gonna blow my nose again.
A few hours later.
I've ran out of tissues. I'll be back.
I'm going to have a moment to think about Connor Rosie. I've ran out of tissue.
Put that up nice and well for us.
Should we do the tips?
Let's do the tips. Before we get into the tips,
Yeah,
looking at the
sure.
next round, this is potential to be one of the best rounds of AFL football ever.
Yeah, but we say that, and every time it happens, it's shit.
That's why I said potential, because it looks like it, but it's just not going to be, is it? There's going to be some fucking smack. There's going to be some absolute beltings.
I think this is why next week we'll do our run home thing, because after this round, it will very much showcase what's going to happen.
Yep.
And we talk about like round 19 coming up. It's going to have some absolutely massive games. And we talk about Port Adelaide and Collingwood and the Adelaide Oval. That's the week after. And when we get to Port, we'll talk about it. But these rounds are starting to get a little bit more juicier and juicier as we get through.
Yeah, because now teams have a lot more to play for than just like getting early wins on the board. It's like you need to fucking start winning games now, otherwise you're not going to play finals. So you've got to really put a foot in. So I am very excited this week.
It does. It's funny though, because it doesn't really feel like we're on a run home yet.
No, but like that's because there's still like 7 matches. Like when you think about it, that's actually a lot of games still.
Yeah.
But also like it's just, this season is long. Like 24 rounds is a lot of rounds. But yeah, it's gonna be like after this week, I'll be like, all right, fucking, now it's time to start really looking at who's gonna play finals, kind of deal.
Let's get through it then. Swans versus Dogs Thursday night. Why, by the way, as something's just entered my eyeball, why do the Swans have SCG games on a Thursday night?
I don't know, but I think they're
They're
gonna win it.
terrible. Oh, by the way, this last week was a draw.
Oh yeah, we drew. Yeah, I got the Thursday night tip, and then you got the Sunday one.
Only Carlton didn't let me down. I'm going to tip the Dogs.
Okay, well there we go. We start different straight away. Straight up for that.
No, I like that. D's Lions.
This could be a good game. Although Brisbane fucking suck at the MCG. The D's have lost a lot of players. Clayton Oliver won't be back. Bailey Fritsch won't be back. I think it's going to be, if the D's are going to win, Cozzy Pickett has to actually rock up. So that was something I did mention in the Saints game, is that Jimmy Webster fucking blanketed the shit out of Cozzy Pickett. He had 4 touches for the game and didn't even go near it. Like, wouldn't have even looked close to kicking a goal at any point. If Melbourne are going to win this game, he has to step up. Because they were struggling to score goals without, like, already. Then they lost Bailey Fritsch, who was kicking most of them. So Cozzy Pickett has to fucking do something. Otherwise, they're going to struggle. I'm going to tip the D's. But Cozzy has to do something. Yeah.
I don't think the D's have the star power to even if they can kick goals, match it with the Lions. I'm tipping the Lions.
That's fair. That's fair. This is going to be...
Oh!
That's going to be a good game, that one, I think.
That's going to be a ripper. Friday night football at the G.
Yeah.
Pies, Freo.
Pies, Freo. Yeah. I think Freo are out to $7 in this game, I'll just say. Because they just fucking... Because of the way they just played against Carlton. So I don't think they're going to win this at all. Like, it's going to be Collingwood pretty comfortably, I want to say.
Is this
But if Freo... No, it's
at
the G. If Freo want to, like, play finals, they actually have to show up a little bit in this game and not get blown out of the water.
Yeah. Although I think Collingwood will play one of those games where they look like they're not great, but they still win.
Yeah, it'll be like they'll be close in the first half and then they'll kick like 6 goals in the third and just kind of cruise.
1 quarter football winners.
Yeah.
Suns versus St Kilda at our favourite Bank Stadium.
Yeah. Interesting.
Oh no.
I'm going to
This
tip
could
us.
end St Kilda. You're going to tip you?
Yeah.
Hey, good. I'm tipping you too.
Yeah. I don't think Suns are amazing. We smashed them earlier this year at Marvel, and we didn't really have anybody then. Have an 80 kick too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we need to do something without a forward line again because King's gone. I think if we bring Membry back, which we probably will if he's back, we could bring in some really weird changes this week though. Like there's a chance we give a debut to Max Heath, who picked up in the mid-season draft a couple years ago. I think we're going to win because I think last week we played really good football, and as long as we can just do that again, we'll beat Gold Coast. Even with the injuries that we've got, I think we'll beat Gold Coast.
If Ben King doesn't play, this could be the Kingless Cup.
Why don't they just play against each other? Oh, that's actually another thing. You know how the Mackay brothers don't play against each other? How many times has Max and Ben King played in the same? It's like
Yeah, but
Max
they have
was
the
injured his
same
whole
recovery joint.
no, but like Max was injured his whole first season. Then like the second season they were there, and then King got injured, and now they're there. But then King's been injured the first part of the year, and now he's injured now.
Now
Interesting.
you put it in words.
Interesting.
You're onto something.
I need to research. With the amount of times that King brothers play each other.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Might launch a bit of an investigation. That might be your job this week.
I might do that. So there we go.
All right. All good.
No, because I know someone will get onto it before me. Like by the time the Saints Gold Coast game rolls around, someone will be like, "Did you know the King brothers have only played twice?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, cool."
There's your research done.
Yeah, I know.
Blues Port at Marble.
Are Carlton going to show up?
No.
I'm going to tip Port anyway, even if Carlton do show up. But like, Carlton have to do something here, otherwise you can kiss their finals chances, however slim goodbye.
Carlton
I'm
have
gonna
the
tip Port, though.
opportunity to stop the streak that is 13. They also have the opportunity to stop the streak that is 9 at Marvel for Port. They have the opportunity to stop the streak of 14 for Dylan Williams, who's not lost a game playing AFL yet, and also stop the streak, which is also 13 for Ken Hinkley on the bench.
Yeah.
Kind of weird spelling that out.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of fucking numbers.
Yeah.
I don't think they do it. I think Port win again.
Cool. Cats, Dons.
Interesting. Essendon are in really good form, but the Cats at GMHBA are fucking hard to beat.
Oh, it's such a good game.
Do we reckon they get Jeremy Cameron back next week?
Yeah. You have to play him.
I'm going to tip the Cats.
Yep. I'm going to tip him too. GMHBA, Construction Park is the only reason they win this game.
Yeah.
Crows, Giants.
Fuck, these games are really good.
See, two weeks ago, I would have said Adelaide comfortably.
But now it's not.
Now that
now
GWS are in red hot form, they're our little favourite team at the moment.
Yep.
The only thing that's stopping me tipping the Giants is the fact that it's the Adelaide Oval.
Yeah, and Adelaide do, like, as much as, you know, they are shit everywhere else, they are good at Adelaide Oval. Giants beat them earlier this year.
And they played on a 55-degree day.
Giants had no bench at all. I'm going to tip Adelaide, but this could be the game of the round.
Ooh.
I think this will be like the tightest margin of the round.
I'm tipping the Crows too. Again, same as the Cats reason. It's at home.
Yep.
And then we get to Sunday. Now, this is where I want to talk prime time footy. This is so good. Like, honestly, when they looked at the schedule at the start of the year, they went, round 18, fellas, what are we going to do? Oh my God, a story for you. We're going to put the Roos and the Hawks, prime time on a Sunday, and then you know what, Eagles fans, you're going to get the Tigers on a Sunday afternoon at your fucking stadium that's called Optus. And it's going to be published, and it's going to be beautiful to watch.
I love how they've produced one of the best rounds of AFL football for the first 3 days of it, and then just went, just chuck the rest in on Sunday. You'll be right.
What is this round when it
16th,
ends?
17th, and 18th?
And the best part about it is it's a 12:40 time slot and a 4:10 time slot, which
You
means
missed the free to air.
there's no free to air. This is all paid for. First one's not going to be watched because we're going to be seriously hungover, although you're watching it.
I'll be there.
And then we're all treated to a West Coast versus Richmond game. Adult.
Fuck, this is bad. Oh,
Gonna make this quick for you. The Hawks and Tigers.
yep. Happy with that. Pencil 'em in.
Yep. And we're done.
We did it. That's very funny. I was so happy about this round, and I saw the last two games, and all my enthusiasm just went fucking out the window.
The problem is the fact that we might have, as you said, one of the best rounds ever. And we've got to come in Sunday night and record after those two games.
It's gonna be so depressed after West Coast Richmond. I'm probably not even gonna watch it. Like,
We're going to be hungover. We're going to be miserable. Both our teams have either won or lost the day before.
uh, Yep.
How good's football?
fantastic.
All
Yay!
right. We did it.
We did it.
19.
So good.
Next week's 20.
Big 2-0.
I don't really think that's a big milestone.
No, I think 25 is probably the bigger of the milestones.
Oh, the quarter life crisis.
Yeah.
I had one of those 2 years ago.
What did you do in your
25.
quarter life crisis? Ian?
Oh, I went a 3-day vendor.
As you should.
Yeah.
As you deserve.
Oh, I tell you what, it's not a story for a podcast.
Ah.
I can't wait for when you turn. Well, you got to get to 21 first, but when you turn 25 and I'm 47, we can go through your quarter life crisis.
Terrific. Looking forward to it. Oh man.
Okay, I think we should end it.
Yeah. We've done it.
Still don't know how to sign it off.
Nah, how did we do it the other weeks? What was the last week's one?
We both said the same thing at the same time. Or something
Sick.
real in syncness.
Backs. I'm so dumb. Okay, you just said real in okay, do you want to see how my brain just did this? You said real in sync things. I then thought N sync, and then I started seeing Backstreet's Back by the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, that's really weird.
I'm a fucking idiot. That's dumb.
And we'll end it there. We'll end it there on that quote. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week.